Seventh caution of the race, and a night where Sadler hoped for good things for his championship bid has turned into just the opposite.
You can see he's up against the wall right here. I believe he blew the right front tire.
Sure looked that way. Yeah, the only thing harder than trying to drive a good car around here is drive a wreck race car around here and try to keep up speed and up the minimum and get as much as you can out of it.
Yeah.
But he just gotten out of the groove, and whenever the damage that he had, it wasn't driving very good.
Clear by 6.
So, caution number 7 out. And what he hoped for a good day at his dream track has turned into a little bit of a nightmare for Elliott Sadler. Doubling up for restart here at Bristol. Restart will come with 72 laps to go. Here's one of those little secrets when you get behind the scenes sometimes. These big bright lights, you know how like if you leave your back porch light on sometimes at night and it'll attract the moths and the bugs? Well, way up high on the roof, sometimes the camera guys wear goggles because the moths and the big bugs are attracted to the big bright lights. Never seems to be a problem in the grandstands, but it is up on the roof when you're operating one of those cameras. Found that out the hard way the first time. Remember the first time in the night race at Charlotte?
Yeah.
The All-Star race? Went up there to work turn 4 on radio, stood right behind one of those light posts. Next time I went up there, I had goggles.
Lesson learned.
It bugged me all night.
Kyle Larson restarted third, dreaded spot. Let's see what he can do with it.
Got a chance to get up in line right there.
Yep. He actually held serve then on this one.
He's going to help the average. Still going to be back around losing 2 spots there, the 5th, but he's going to be hanging on in third right now.
Kyle Busch, Ty Dillon, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney now back into the top 5.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney's done a nice job all night. They've made some pit stops and things. It's had him back in the pack quite a bit, but now inside that top 5 once again.
Kevin Harvick there running 6th in the 5 car. They're side by side behind him. Regan Smith clearing Dylan Krasneski, who's having a nice job, nice drive tonight in that 31 car.
Now, coming back around to these tracks the second time, you want to see what this young man can do. You know, they've made a crew chief change there. We've seen a lot of things change with him. He's not tearing up these race cars and things. He's getting a lot of laps under his belt. Nice to see him having a good, solid night here.
There is such a thing as trying too hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yes.
And sometimes it takes a little while when you're trying to prove yourself to understand that if you just settle down a little bit, it's going to be okay. And Dylan has done a nice job as the season has progressed in growing his confidence and understanding that balance. Free pass at the caution before this one was that one. That car, Eric Jones, who got back onto the lead lap. He's running now in 11th place.
A pretty solid run for the young man. First time at Bristol.
He really is very, very talented. And this is just such a different track than anything that he's ever been on. And driving these cars and the competition level this here, you're running in 11th spot is a very solid night.
Right behind Jones, Ryan Sieg. We talked so much about Ryan when he had the great run at Daytona. Got himself into the Nationwide Insurance Dash for Cash there. The family team, the little team that could. And started out the season not with plans to run the full year of the Nationwide Series. Was going to fill in around his plans to run in the Camping World Truck Series with some nationwide races. Got a toehold here, and the team is soldiered on and plugged out. They like, when I talked with Ryan, the ability to race every week, and he's learned so much. And they have to do so much with so few people to get to the racetrack week to week, but it seems like they put on a solid performance almost every time.
Yeah, it's nice to see a sponsor on the side of that 39. Young man, very deserving of that, certainly.
Kyle Busch looking to do something that's never been done before. I don't know if we've mentioned this all night. He's trying to win a 4th consecutive Nationwide Series race here at Bristol. It's never been done before. He had a chance to do it once before, won 3 straight, came here the next time, and had a problem on pit road. This was back during the season when he drove his own equipment, not Joe Gibbs. Had a wheel left loose on a pit stop, had to make an extra pit stop, and it cost him a chance to run up front in that race. Here he is tonight, seeking a fourth straight, has had to rally back from behind. Started up front, started on pole, led the opening 63 laps in this one, but has had to rally back from behind after strategies and track position and getting caught in that dreaded inside row for a couple of restarts and whatnot kept him from getting up to the front.
Yeah, he worked that hard and really made some key moves at times, and even taking the lead from the 42 of Kyle Larson a couple of restarts ago. That was the big moment really for him, but being patient and making that work.
The only weak spot I've seen on that 54 tonight is him doing that long run. We run probably the longest we had on tires all night. Kyle Larson had the lead, and he was right on Kyle Larson's rear bumper. And at the end of that run, he lost touch with him, probably a couple of seconds. I'm just wondering if they made an adjustment on the 54, or we'll see the same thing with about 25 to go here if his rear tires start giving up.
Wisniewski 31, Scott 2, 8th and 9th place. Brendan Gaughan 62, just behind them, also for position.
Brian Scott a couple of times tonight in this very position trying to make this inside work. He's got a good race car, and he's been patient most of the time. Another solid run for this team. Brendan Gaughan right there behind him, teammate.
Ryan has run too well this year not to win. You got to figure they're going to win sometime. Now, this is of interest to me. After all the pit stops and repairs, Elliott Sadler remained one lap down. He and Trevor Bayne here are racing for the free pass spot. They are the first two and only two cars, one lap down. Now, until Kyle Busch catches Ryan Reed and puts the 16 a lap down, this is going to be for the free pass spot. And it's going to be about a third of a lap before Kyle Busch might catch the tail end of the lead lap cars. And if we get a caution between now and then, this race could be pretty important.
See, Elliott Sadler really having to dig down. You know this car isn't driving well. We've seen that with all the damage that he sustained.
But you know, he's been told the importance of finding and passing the 6 car. Get by him, get a caution before Kyle Busch laps anybody else, and now you're right back in the thick of it. And what could have been a disastrous night in points might turn out to be not too bad. But Bayne's holding that high line.
Yeah, and he's held off a lot of cars that have tried to make that inside pass. Trevor Bayne has all through the night. Obviously, Elliott knows that. He's going to try to trap him in behind a slower car, possibly, as they start approaching some traffic.
Not missing anything up front. Kyle Busch is pulled away from Ty Dillon by a 2nd and 8/10 now. And while you watch this, I'm going to mention, well, let's hold the breath here. Lap cars just ahead.
Sadler had his shot right there, just wasn't up quite far enough, so he's trying to make a big run here, getting trapped in behind the 4 car.
Hard racing, and in about 2 laps Kyle Busch is going to catch and pass Ryan Reed, and it's going to be for naught.
Now Sadler did make the pass on the 6 car for the time being, but it's all for naught.
And there you go. Yep. So now Ryan Reed is the first car, 1 lap down. Watching the radar, it's going to be interesting. The checkered flag or the rain, which gets here first. If we stay under green, it's going to be the checkers if we stay under green. Caution number 8 out here at Bristol. Elliott Sadler involved for the 2nd time. You see the damage there on the left side of that car. Lucky it could have been a whole lot worse because of where this car wound up sitting on the track. Ahead from Trevor Bayne.
They cut another tire down.
Yeah, that sure did right there.
Yeah, but it was quite a few close calls. I thought there were 2 or 3 cars going to hit him after the fact.
will turn out to be a big night in Elliott Sadler's championship hopes for this season. Pit road open. Only takers among lead lap cars. Ryan Scott from 9th place first in. Brendan Gaughan also in, Jamie.
Brendan just saying his balance has gone away just a tad. They wiped the grill as they take their time working on the left sides. Meanwhile, the 2 of Brian Scott is in. His grip was a little bit better that last run. The 2 took left side tires.
Chris Buescher, Trevor Bayne. There you see the damage when you heard Bayne hit Elliott Sadler as Sadler came off the wall. I can only imagine how much racing here can aggravate you as a driver and a crew chief.
If not a more frustrating place a lot of the times. You know. There Elliott was having a really solid night and has a car spin in front of him, right in front of him, with nowhere to go, and that just started what is going to end up being a terrible night.
It looked like something broke in the right front suspension. They're going behind the wall.
You see that minus 32 for Sadler. That's at the moment. He was minus 16 to start the night. And is likely going to lose
7 or 8 at least.
Yes, I'm just looking back to see how many laps are left. He might lose as many as 10 more positions before the checkered flag waves on this one. Well, Bristol tonight, next weekend. Actually, next couple of weeks, more nighttime racing for the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Atlanta, next Saturday night, under the lights. Big, fast, 1.5 miles, tire wear, grip give up, exciting racing. That's next weekend. Then it's on to Richmond. And then we begin the September stretch at Chicagoland Speedway, Kentucky, Dover, and more. Join us at the track, NASCAR.com/tickets, or the number at the bottom of your screen. We look forward to some great weather and great racing throughout these remaining months of this season. Championship is tight as they run on the racetrack now. Chase Elliott 14 points ahead of Regan Smith and 27 ahead of Ty Dillon, and we're doubled up for a restart that's going to come with 33 laps to go. The dreaded inside row 2 to Kyle Larson.
He held on to it last time in that 3rd spot. See if Ty Dillon's got anything left. Try to make a run. We saw him earlier make a little bit of a run at that 54 Kyle Busch.
And if Chase Elliott can close him out there.
Yep.
Dillon's going to get up in line. Larson is going to fall in behind Elliott. Harvick 5, Blaney 22. 5th place. Remember, Blaney's team, Penske Racing, locked in that tight team or owners championship with Joe Gibbs' 54 car.
Battle for second here. Chase Elliott benefited from that great start that the 54 got. To get out of the trouble there. Not going to get the 2nd spot. Is he going to be able to hang on the 3rd?
Played a little defense there. Got up in that outside line quick.